Morning, hope everyone is okay on this sunny Saturday. If you are watching this back, just make sure you do a hashtag replay in the comments so I know who's seen it and whether this has been a helpful video and whoever's watched it. Because I would love to do more of these. I've got a few topics, but if they're not of interest to you, obviously I'm not going to do them. If they are, make sure you are commenting and replying so that I know to do more of these. So if you are jumping on live, hello, good morning. I am going to go through some hints and tips around your job and what you can kind of do to make it help you in your weight loss journey rather than hindering you. Because everyone's job is probably, 5 days of the week, around 40 hours. It's a lot of time. And also in that time is when you're awake, in your meal times. So it's going to have an impact on your journey. So what are the few things that you can do while at work? Now, I appreciate everyone's got a different job. Some people might have sitting jobs. Some people might have standing jobs, physical jobs. And you might already be doing everything that you can. But I thought I would cover a few different angles to kind of come at. So then that can help you in your everyday life. So if you have any comments or anything as we go through, add it in and I will pick it up as we go along. So the two main things you want to be aiming for whilst at work is maximising your steps and minimising your food. Those are the two things that I do. And potentially drinking water as well. You can quite easily kind of tick those off. And most people find Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, they can stick to the diet, they're really good, and it's the weekends that throw them off. However, could you be making better improvements during the week? Are you really maximising that time at work? So for me personally, I've just gone back to working in a few different bars and restaurants. So getting my steps in is always key. Now, yes, I know obviously I'm on my feet a little bit more, but if I'm just stood behind a bar, it's very easy to not move, as some of you guys might just be sat at a desk. But it's about making ways of moving. So if I go to a different department or a different place, I will always try and use the stairs rather than the lift. Now, one of the bars is on the 5th floor. Now, I'm not going to walk all the way up 5 flights of stairs because I'll be exhausted by the time I got to the top. However, I do try and walk down them. Sometimes I'm only going back down to the 2nd. Sometimes I'm going back down to 0. So maximising getting those steps in. And like I said, I'm not saying walk up the stairs because sometimes that can kind of hinder how much you can do for the rest of the day. It's like if you went for a run, you'd be exhausted, wouldn't want to do anything else. So don't absolutely do everything, but where can you get extra steps in? Taking the stairs instead of the lift, walking the long way around, parking a little bit further away from your workplace. Like, it's so easy to go, oh, closest car parking space, there we go. Can you park a little bit further away in the car park? Those extra few steps, you're probably not really going to notice them. But they are going to add up, obviously, over 5 days of the week just by parking that little bit further away. Then also with getting your steps in, drink more water. Then you can go to the toilet a little bit more or get up and make drinks throughout the day. Some people have got a smartwatch. Fitbits, I know, remind you every hour to get your 250 steps in. I don't know if they've changed it, whether you can change it or not. Apple Watch reminds you to stand every hour, and I'm sure other fitness watches do something similar. So if you get that buzz on your hand to say that you've not stood up, that is your opportunity to get out of your chair and just go to the printer, go to the toilet, go make a coffee, whatever that is. Think of little excuses that you can do. Rather than, doing everything all in one go, get up and walk around and do all your jobs. Get up, do one job, come back to your chair, sit down for a bit, get up, go and do another one. Really, really maximise those steps, because a lot of people have got the excuse of, oh, well, I'm sat down at work all day. Yes, I appreciate that you have to sit down quite a lot, but are there ways to maximise your steps? And also at lunchtime, can you get out for a lunchtime walk? It is sunny now, it is nice weather. We're not in the middle of winter. We've not got that excuse of, oh, it's cold, it's dark, it's raining, it's freezing. It is nice weather. Get outside if you can. Potentially eat your lunch before or after your lunch break. Not all of us have that option, but if you can, eat it at your desk, and use that full half an hour, whatever time you've got at lunch to get out and get a walk. Or get a 45-minute walk in, come back 15 minutes to eat your lunch. So that's another way of getting your steps in. Now, I can average 1,000 steps every 10 minutes. That's just my walking pace. So imagine if you could just get like an extra 4,000 steps in on your lunch break every day. Like that compound effect of the Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, that's an extra 20,000 steps in the week. You could even do more. Then if you've got all those little bits of walking up the stairs, parking further away, getting up for drinks, water, toilet breaks as much as you can. All those little things are going to add up. And you could easily add an extra 30 to 40,000 steps in your week, each week. Now that is going to have a massive impact on your weight loss journey. Everyone thinks it's going to the gym. It is not. It is not going to the gym at all. It is getting those steps in, which is why I prioritise my steps, especially whilst at work. Because obviously now, like you guys, I'm sat down doing my job. And then the other thing is food. So food, again, is key to your weight loss journey. Steps and food are the two biggest factors that will determine whether you're going to get to your goal or not. So what can you do with food? I try and use work, depending what days and times I'm working, because obviously it's not Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 in a bar. I usually eat at 12, 3 to 4, and then 6 to 7. Those are kind of my meal times. So one job I do, I usually start at 2:30, 3, half 2, 3, or half 3. So then it's kind of a case of like, well, I would normally be eating then. So I'm going to use the opportunity to push the feeding window back, if that's what you want to call it, to about 5 o'clock, which is when I would get my break. So I would then get up, I would eat at like 12 o'clock, my normal meal, then grab a coffee, then obviously head to work for like half 2, 3, like I said, at the latest half 3. I would then be getting my food break at like 5, half 5. So I have then added 2 hours into obviously my eating. And obviously because I'm up late, that then impacts my hunger, which it will do for everyone. So then I then eat a bit later on at like 9 p.m. So I use that work to kind of push food back. Sometimes if I'm really busy, I don't necessarily get to have that second one. But it's using work to kind of put barriers in your way of eating. So if you're in work at 9 o'clock in the morning, do you need breakfast? We all don't need breakfast. Like I said, I don't eat till 12 because that's when I can push the hunger off the most. So I can just have a coffee, have some water. I might have like the odd cracker or like a rice cake or something, just if I'm like, oh, I'm starving, I just want to take that edge off. You could have something at your desk potentially. Can you push that first meal back to like lunchtime, or could you have something at say 11? The less time you're eating, the more calories are in the day. And if you're busy at work and you're like, oh, I just forgot to eat, is that you? Use the opportunity. There is nothing wrong with missing a meal. People call it intermittent fasting. Miss a meal, skip one out. I never say, oh yeah, I'm fasting till 12. Like, I just don't say that. I just don't eat till 12. Sometimes I do. Technically breaking your fast, is anything that's got calories in. Well, I've got a coffee here, so that's got calories in. I mean, very little with the milk, but there are calories in there. And caffeine does curb your hunger, as will water. Sometimes we wake up and we think that we are hungry and we're actually thirsty. So make sure you always carry around a bottle of water with you. Keep yourself full all day on that water. And like I said, if you're drinking loads of water, you're getting up to refill your bottle in the tap, and then you're also getting steps in going to the toilet. So win-win situation. Then there's loads of cakes and goodies potentially around the office where you work, sweets, snacks, biscuits. Turn your eyes away, try not to look. And I know that is hard. And I never say like, oh, don't eat cake. But in the work situation, unless it's someone's birthday, there's probably cakes and biscuits around all the time. Especially, if you do work in an office where people feel that they want to bring in donuts every day. You don't have to eat them. Tell yourself that food is not for you. However you want to do it, just say that food's not for me. That is not going to help me get to my goals. And always think, is that going to take me one step closer or one step further away from my goals? So in one of the places I work, they sell cakes on the bar, like individually wrapped, and obviously they've got a shelf life. Now, when they go out of date, they say, oh, you know, out of date today, we're now closed. Do you want to take these home? I had a look at one of the cakes yesterday. It was a bit like a cherry bakewell, probably about this big, maybe. It was like raspberry and apricot one. It's like a fancy one. But it's gluten-free and dairy-free. 460 calories just in that. Now, I would eat that in like 3, maybe 4 bites. Not really think about it and just have it. Now, as much as I would think it was delicious and I'd enjoy it, is that really going to help me towards my goals when I've only got 1,600 calories for the day? Not really, because for me to feel full and to enjoy dieting, as I enjoy, you know, as much as you can, I need to feel belly full. I need to feel that I'm full. So for 460 calories, I could have a chicken breast, a full jacket potato, a load of veg, and then some kind of dessert afterwards as well, rather than this little tart. So is it going to take you one step closer to your goals, or is it going to take you one step further away? Now, having some cake and taking one step further away, that is fine. It's going to take an extra day to get to your goals. If you do that 4 or 5 days a week, you're only making progress on 2 or 3. And as I said at the beginning, most people struggle on the weekend. So if you're using Monday to Friday to maximize your weight loss, you know, minimize the food that you're eating and maximize your steps, you are then helping yourself on the weekend where you may potentially go over calories and obviously maybe not get as many steps in. Whereas if you're eating cake, biscuits, chocolate from your employees, like 3 days of the week and then 2 days of the weekend, you're then eating a little bit more because you're with family, friends, it's nice weather. You're only making 2 days of progress out of 7. And this is where people then don't see that weight loss that they want, because they're like, well, I'm really working hard, but then honestly, biscuits and chocolate and cake add up so fast, and the amount of volume in your food, in your system, is not there. So they're not going to make you full. Yes, they produce that happy hormone, dopamine, for the 2 minutes that you're eating it, and then after that it's gone, you've forgotten about it. And you've probably not even tracked it in your MyFitnessPal because you've just forgotten about it. You know, oh, do you want a biscuit? Oh yeah, okay, eaten, gone, forgotten about. So yeah, so hopefully those were helpful tips. If you've got any other tips, or if you found this useful, comment and let me know. What tip are you going to implement in your week? Are you going to start saying no to the cakes and biscuits? Are you going to start parking further away? Are you going to take the stairs? Are you going to walk around the office more? Are you going to spread out your job so you can get up more? Are you going to go on a lunchtime walk? Let me know what tip you're going to take away and implement in your week next week. And then I can chase you up and make sure you are doing that next week. Because like I said, maximize what you're doing at work, whatever job that is. You know, make sure you are making it work for you. You know, do we all want to go to work? Not really, but we need money. So why not maximize it while you're there? Get as many steps in, keep your food as low as possible, use it as barriers to stop you eating, and use it as an advantage to get those steps in wherever you can. So yeah, so hopefully it's helpful. Let me know your comments, your thoughts, if you've got any other ideas, what you're going to implement, and if this was useful. And then I shall do another one next week for you. So yeah, hopefully I'll speak to you then.